I am going to record this, so I have been posting recordings of the session videos that we've been having in Zoom, okay? So you probably already know that, just saying. All right, I'm going to go ahead and unmute y'all. So while you guys continue, remember I'm recording this, okay? I might have to mute y'all if feedback gets too much. So a few things. I got my second display going up. So now all I have to do is look up there. I don't have anything up here I have to worry about. So that's cool. Makes it a lot easier. Just to make sure everyone's aware of the expectations, we're going to have 2 Zoom sessions a week, one on Tuesday, one on Friday at 1 o'clock. Okay. And you're going to have a warm up and homework for each day. So that means 2 warm-ups, 2 homeworks per week. So what you do is you do the warm-up, the homework, take a picture, and then you send it to me in Gmail. And that's the minimum expectation. Okay, you do that, you have a C. As far as assessments goes, we're going to have 2 assessments. That's what we're required to do. And what I'm going to do, I talked to Mr. Walker to figure this out, is I'm going to put y'all in different email groups. And then on the day of the assessment, I will email to each of the groups the assessment. You'll take the assessment, take a picture of it, send it to me. And so they're not going to be much bigger than a quiz. There probably will just be a regular quiz. So I wouldn't think it'd take more than a half an hour. So when we have these assessments, I'm going to put you on email groups. I'm going to email to each group the assessment. You take the picture, you send it back to me. And so I'm thinking within an hour. And so I'm not going to be hard and fast. So if you're off by 5 minutes, that's not a big deal. But so that's how I'm going to handle that issue. Okay. Anybody want to ask anything or chat, text me anything? All right. Well, just shoot me an email if something comes up. All right. You know, we're gonna do this. All right. So what we want to do here with this warm up is we want to organize the data. Now I just told y'all how to organize it, right? So we want to start at 40 and go by tens, right? And so notice the smallest value is 43 and the largest value is 152. All right. So we're going to start at 40 and go by tens, right? So starting at 40. Now you can start up top and go down, or if you want to start on bottom and go up. I'm just going to start at top and go down. So I'm just going to go by tens. And again, remember, we want to get to 152. Okay, and then the next one would be 160. But since 152 is in between 150 and 160, we might as well put that 160 as the last number in the last group. Okay, so now we're going to go back and create the last numbers in the other groups. Let me admit 2 people, y'all. All right, Sienna and RJ, I won't send y'all to get a tardy pass. Welcome aboard. So I'm explaining the warm-up right now. All right, so now we're going to go back. And we're going to go back and get the second number. So for those of y'all who just showed up, this is what we're doing. I'll show it to y'all in a moment. Okay, so since 150 is the smallest number in this group, then the largest number in this group would have been 149, right? And same thing. So the first number less than 140 would be in this group. That's 139, all right? And so then the same thing, you're just going back by 1, so then you can just go ahead and finish your creations of intervals. And then you can go ahead and finish organizing them. Now, I'll go ahead and write down what you should have gotten, but just in case you needed a little help knowing how to create your frequency table, that's what you do. And this is what you should have gotten. 1, 0, 1, 8, 12, 13, 4, a whole bunch of zeros, and then a 1. Okay, and notice most of the data is right around here. All right. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share the screen and we'll discuss what we're looking at here a little bit. So what this is the number of accidents per 1,000 people based upon your occupation, right? So notice who has the most accidents per 1,000. Look at that. And that's by far. That's almost, it's a little more than 40 more. Look at that. Students have more accidents per 1,000. All right. I'm sure you guys will get better. But look at the last one here. Farmers. Farmers have the least amount of accidents per 1,000. Notice that's more than 20. That's about 24 less. Why do you think that is? Why do you think farmers have the least amount of accidents per 1,000 people? Anybody have any idea? And you can chat text me if you want. Why would farmers have the least amount of accidents per 1,000? Now, where do farmers live? Is there a lot of people there? What kind of roads do farmers usually drive on? Highways? Think about the Central Valley. Think about if you were traveling between Stockton and Fresno. Yeah, RJ, when you say out of the way, you mean less populated, right? That's what you mean. But you're right. Right. So in fact, if you probably traveled between Stockton and Fresno, more than likely you'd probably be driving behind a tractor at some point. And you'd probably get irritated and honk your horn. You're like, get the heck out the way. 50 miles an hour, what the heck? But yeah, that's right. So farmers, they are traveling with vehicles that are very slow speed, and they're traveling in areas that have a lot less people. All right, so okay, so then the next part of the warm-up was to find the median. So we want to find the median. We don't just want to go ahead and do our frequency table here. So let's go ahead and see what the median would be. Well, if we want to find the median, we want to find the middle number. Let's go ahead and make a bar graph of this. So if we want to make a bar graph over here, we need to find out how many categories. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let me double check. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, so there's 12. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm just going to write the tens numbers there, right? That way you don't have to do a whole lot of writing. So 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Okay, so we need one more because we need 160. Okay, now we can go ahead and make these bars. We've got to get up to 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'll just go by twos. Okay, so now we can go up 1. Then we skip, we go to this one, going up 1. And then 8. So I'll just put a little line where 8 is. And then 12. So I'll just put a little line where 12 is. And then 13. You'll have to forgive me, my squiggly lines. And then 4. All right, and then we got a whole lot of zeros, and then 1. All right, so that's what that looks like. So the median is probably somewhere around here, right, where the middle number is. And notice we got extreme values. Students are much more dangerous per 1,000, and farmers are a lot less dangerous per 1,000. These are called outliers. They lie outside the majority range of the data, right? And if we went ahead and we kind of sketched this bar graph a little bit, kind of look like this, right? And so notice kind of where the hump is would be probably where the middle is. This is called a bell curve. And then when we make the bar graph here, we're using the bar graph based upon numerical values on the bottom. So we call this a histogram. And that just means the bars touch. We're basing the width of these bars upon a numerical value, and their widths of 10. So if this was eye color, frequency of eye color, there'd be no numerical values on the bottom. There'd just be blue, green, brown, hazel. So the width of the bars, blue, green, brown, hazel, is meaningless. That's the difference between a bar graph and a histogram. The x-axis is numerical values. All right, well, let's see how many numbers we have. So we're going to find the median. So we can see we got 8, right? Plus 2, so 10. And then this is 25, so 10 plus 25, 35. And then 4 plus 1, so we got 40. So there's 40 numbers. And so we want to find the location in the middle. So we're going to do n plus 1 divided by 2. And that would be 40 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 20.5. And so that means in between the 20th and 21st data item. Okay, well, let's see where that is here. Well, less than 50, there's 1. Less than 60, there's 1. Less than 70, there's 2. So there's 2 numbers less than 70. Less than 80, there's another 8 plus 2. So there's 10 numbers less than 80. So the 10th number would have been in this category. Okay, and then less than 90, there's another 12 plus 10. All right, so the 22nd number would have been in this category. So we know the median is in that category. All right, now we can actually find the median because we were given the data in raw form. So if we look back at the data here, right, we can go ahead and count. So we want to be in between the 20th and the 21st. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. 20 is down here. I know you guys can count, right? And then this would be 21. So 20 is 89, 21 is 89, the median is 89. And you could also count from the bottom, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20 at 89, and then 21 at 89. So the median is 89. Okay, everybody all right with that? I'll just wait a couple seconds. Okay, so looking at the homework, I showed you guys how to do the stem and leaf plot. You didn't really need to use them for the homework, but it is helpful. And so you can see that's what I did here. Because it's just a lot easier if you can organize the numbers real quick. Then it's easier to get the frequencies and it's less taxing on the brain. Remember multitasking? So let's break this up into 2 tasks. Organize the number, then find the frequencies. A lot less taxing on your mind, and it's also going to be more accurate. So you can see there's no 10s and 20s, and then there's what am I trying to say? Yeah, there's 4 numbers in the 30s, right? And then here, so that's what all this is. And the same thing over here. Now over here on the second part, you can see what I did is I have 2 rows for each digit. And so this is called a split stem. So what I did is I put from 50 to 54 on top and 55 to 59 on bottom. Same thing here. 60 to 64 on top, 65, 69 on bottom. This is called a split stem, right? And since we're going by 5s, that's why I did that. And again, notice how quickly you can find the frequency once you organize. A lot easier. Okay, and then the same down here, I did the same thing here. So this is called a split stem, right? So these are the 70s. I put 70 to 74 on top, 75 to 79 on bottom. Now, maybe you just picked your intervals. Just you said, okay, let's go by 10s, let's go by 2s, let's go by 4s. Not a big deal. I went ahead and went by 5s. And if you wanted to be more mathematical about that, notice just like we did in class last time, 95 minus 59, right? The range, and then we want 9 categories because there's 9 rows here. All right, so that's 4. So we need at least 4. So I rounded up to 5. All right, so that's a more mathematical way of why I'm using 5, right? That way we make sure we have enough for the 9. Because if we go under 4, we're going to run out of room. We're going to have more categories. And if we go too far above 4, we're going to wind up needing only 8 of these. All right, I don't know if that's too simplistic for y'all, but this unit tends to be a little easier. Anybody have any questions about the homework? Okay, well, we're going to look at what's called cumulative frequency next, and I'll show you this screen in a moment because we were already kind of doing this in the warm-up, right? These numbers that I was doing over here, that's based upon less than or equal to the largest number in the group. So there were 20 numbers less than or equal to 89. There were 20 numbers less than 90, however you want to say it. Okay? Well, less than or equal to 99, less than 100 would be another 13 numbers plus the 22. So there's 35 numbers less than or equal to 99. Okay, well, this group, less than or equal to 109, there's another 4 numbers plus the 35. So there's 39 numbers less than or equal to 109, or you could say 39 numbers less than 110, right? And then the same thing here, since there's no numbers here, there's always going to be 39 numbers less, right? So 39 numbers less than or equal to 149. And then once we get to this last group, all of the numbers are less than or equal to 160, so 40. That's called cumulative frequency. Cumulative means you add as you go along. The frequency is based upon less than or equal to. Whereas the original frequency was based upon only how many numbers are in that group, right? So for this group, there's 4 numbers from 100 to 109, but there's 39 numbers less than or equal to 109. So 39 is going to have to include everything in the previous groups. All right, that's called cumulative frequency. All right, and that is when it's based upon how many values are less than or equal to the current group. So you start from the lowest value group, so that's why I started on top, since those were the 40s, and you add the frequency numbers to get the cumulative frequency numbers. Okay, I'm just pausing. We're going to have one example. So we'll have a quick example. All right, I'll wait another 10 seconds. All right, so when we were doing these groups, these numbers were all integers. There were no decimal values here. All of these numbers that we organized were all integers. However, here, this frequency table, notice the intervals have 0.9s. And that's a way of implying what we're counting here is all real numbers, not just integers. So this first group that has a frequency of 2, that means all the numbers from 0 all the way up to, but not including 5. So this is from 0 to 4.99999999999999999. That's what this implies. So everything in this group is going to be less than 5. You could also say less than or equal to 4.999999999999999, but that kind of hurts, right? So let's help ourselves out. That's why people will say less than in this case. All right. And so again, that's what these 0.9s mean. They're just a way of implying 0.99999999999. So each group is going to be less than the next integer. So this group would be less than 10, greater than or equal to 5. Maybe you know this. These are little subtle things. You know, I don't want to assume with you guys. Okay, so we'll finish this one, and then that's all we'll be doing today. Okay, y'all. Remember, I post the homework and the solutions, which I also provided here to the homework on the Google Zoom links every single time we have a Zoom session. All right, so let me write this down. So 0 to 4.9, 5 to 9.9, 10 to 14.9, 15 to 19.9, 20 to 24.9, and 25 to 30, right? And then we had our frequencies, which was 2, 5, 11, 15, 8, 3. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share, right? Now these are called the frequencies, so we use the letter F to symbolize that. Now what we wanna do is create the cumulative frequencies. Okay, now remember it's less than or equal to. So we're not gonna start at the bottom. We're gonna start at the top because that's where the smaller numbers are. All right, so less than or equal to 4.9999999, less than 5, there's 2. Next group, less than or equal to 9.999999999, less than 10, there's 5 plus 2. Okay, less than 15, less than or equal to 14.999999999, 11 in this group, plus 7 before it, so 18. So notice we're just adding these numbers, right? So less than 20, 15 numbers in this group, plus the 18 below, so 33. Less than 25, 8 numbers in this group, plus the 33 below, 41. And then less than or equal to 30 are all the numbers, so 3 in this group, 41 below that. Yeah, that's right, Rans. I feel like a Spanish person. Reco. Okay, so that's the cumulative frequency. That's how you get it. Any questions about that? We got one more thing to do. Okay, y'all, glad to have y'all aboard today. All right, now when we make a graph of cumulative frequency, it's not different than a graph of the frequency, a histogram, a bar graph. It's just you use the cumulative frequency numbers. So we got 6 groups. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to add another one. And I'm just going to write the 5 numbers. So 0, 5, 10, 15, right? 20, 25, 30. And okay, so 2, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this a little bit. So the first one, 2, and then 7, so I'll just say is that. And then 18, which I'll say is that. And then 33, all right, and then 41, and then 44. Okay, and that's when you use cumulative frequency, and this is called an ogive. Ogive. It's either that or ogive, I can't remember. So pick your favorite one. Ogive, ogive. I hope that jives with y'all. Okay, anybody want to ask anything? I'll go ahead and unmute y'all. Now, some of y'all muted yourselves. That's probably a good idea. Anyone want to text me anything? Okay, y'all. Y'all take it easy. We'll, I guess we'll meet again on Friday. Oh, RJ, when was that? Today? Bye, Rand. RJ, was that today? Okay, RJ, I'll get it later. I'm not checking my email until after 2, Monday through Friday. Okay, I'll get back to you, buddy. Thanks for letting me know. I would have gotten it anyway. All right, anybody else need anything? A couple seconds. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good one. Y'all take it easy.